Holy shit. God damn, man. I had such a hassle to do this. Move. Delete. Took me 3 freaking attempts. It took me 3 freaking attempts to start this stream. I'm wearing the yellow shirt for the yellow jersey of the Tour de France. So then it probably sends out crap notifications, maybe, because it fucking burns me through. You know, it freaking acts like it doesn't want to go, and then it does. It's like, good lord. All right, let's get this. Oh, notify 1 for the 3. Okay. Oh. All right, now we got that figured up. So the Tour de France, I'm not going to pretend that you all follow that very much, or that Eli, you follow it very much. I'm an open book, though. If you have questions about the Tour de France, I'm more than willing to answer them. Most of the time, the race, the bikers are mostly together. Sometimes there'll be a breakaway. It's not the most thrilling thing to commentate, although Phil Leglett's done it for like 40 years and he does good job at it. This is going to go in the racing live events category, so it'll go alongside the Daytona. Go ahead. You can say a bad word. I can. Do we play? I can tell you guys that the Tour de France has been interesting because of a rivalry that's been brewing in the 2020s. And that I find interesting. So if you look at it, what's that? I need it by a year. Okay. So since 20, only 2 guys have won the Tour de France the last 6 years. Tadej Pogačar won it in 2020, 2021, 2024, and 2025. And Jonas Vingegaard won it in 2022 and 2023. You just saw a woman with fake tits say $2 million is mediocre money. Well, honestly, she could F off. Seriously. It's ridiculous, man. The standards that women have are absurd. They're just flatly absurd. Settle. Stop being single and a cat lady when you're 40. Settle. Jesus Christ. For the love of God, settle down. All right. So we have 33 riders with the yellow jersey. 6 riders broke away. They're about 1 minute and 51 seconds up the road. Speeds are going about 38 miles per hour on these bikes. They're trucking it right now. But yeah, I'm butchering their names, but Tadej Pogačar and Jonas Vingegaard, they've won the last 6 Tour de France's. The other guy usually finishes in second. And again, we do have Tadej Pogačar in first in this year's Tour de France with Jonas Vingegaard in second. Again. So, like, the rivalry continues. I mean, if Tadej Pogačar wins a 5th yellow jersey in 7 years, I mean, you are talking about somebody that is right up there with some of the all-time greats in the Tour de France. Like, without a doubt. And I think he's going to. I think he will win his 5th yellow jersey in 7 years. Technically, this race has been going on for 2 hours and 48 minutes, but we're just now picking it up. Where we left off. I watched the Tour de France all through the Lance Armstrong years, and I quit for a while. I came back to it in 2020 area, 2020, 2021. I got interested again thanks to this rivalry. I would say. But yeah, any questions? Some of you all may have never seen the Tour de France before. Any questions you have, I'll answer, or Google will answer if I don't have the answer. If you're curious how it works. But general idea is they've been racing since the early 1900s in this event. It's the most famous bike race in the world. You may occasionally in your local town or city see people in like these jumpsuits racing around on bikes, but this is like the Super Bowl for bike racing. And they travel like over the course of like 23 days this event lasts. And every day they're biking hours and hours a day. Hello, Henry. She said she'd settle for a man who makes $1 million, but not a doctor. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. We're on commercial now. No, the Tour de France, man, it's what they did to Lance. All right, we do need to set a likes goal before I forget. $10 likes. I rip my yellow shirt. Yellow shirt in half. 10 likes, I rip my yellow shirt in half. Like I did in that one video. So. we won't be doing this stream very long because here in about an hour and 20 minutes, we're going to France versus England. This race should be over before then. Yeah, you're allowed. Let's see. What was I doing? Damn, this commercial last any longer? Oh, man. How's this weather going to be this week? I hate to look at it. Today's high will be 91. The mountainside of France is beautiful. You know, France has a couple amazing events, the French Open and the Tour de France. England has two amazing events. They got the British Open and Wimbledon, of course. And it's funny because today the theme has been France and England, right? France and England. We had the British Open earlier. We got the Tour de France right now. And we legit get France versus England in the World Cup. How awesome is that? That is what's going on. Okay, I don't need the fucking ads. Just give me the weather. All right. There's 28 riders with the yellow jersey. About a minute 49 behind the 6 riders who broke away out front. All right, so here it's death's row the next 3 days. Sunday high 95, Monday high 95, Tuesday high of 99. Go fuck yourself. That is horrendous. Yeah, you're a couple degrees warmer. Someone's got a giant teddy bear. See, what they do is during the Tour de France, people that live all out here and then they travel to here on the countryside where these guys race, they'll line the streets. And sometimes it'll get so busy that it's crowded on the sides of the roads. Cars are pulled over. People are waiting there just to see these guys pass. Sometimes they'll hand out water to them even or snacks or even give them a push up a hill, which you're not supposed to do. It's a scene like you never seen before. Now, I will say this. What do you guys think is more popular in France? The French Open or the Tour de France? I don't know. So it's funny. Today we had the British Open, which is an England event, and we had the Tour de France, which is a French event, one stage of the Tour de France. And today at the World Cup, we have France versus England. We know England's got two events a year that are interesting, Wimbledon and the British Open. And we know France has the French Open and the Tour de France. But we're going to get France versus England in the World Cup for the third place game here in a little over an hour. All right, so we're going to ask Google. Before I even look it up, I'm going to say that the French Open's more popular. What's more popular, the Tour de France or the French Open? Wait. What's more popular, the Tour de France or the French Open? Wow, I was wrong. The Tour de France is more popular than the French Open. So check this out. I didn't realize, by the way, I didn't know cycling was this popular worldwide. I was not aware. But the Tour de France, its cumulative global audience is massive, often estimated in the hundreds of millions to billions over the course of the 3-week duration. The French Open is immensely popular, drawing tens of millions of viewers worldwide. For context, its marquee singles final match typically draws linear TV audiences in the range of 5 to 10 million viewers per match. So, I should have guessed. YMCA, YMCA, yay. Yeah, I should have guessed. I don't know. Just me personally, I like the French Open better than the Tour de France. I think in America, they really don't. They don't market the Tour de France as popular as the French Open. Although to be completely honest, the French Open used to be on NBC. Now it moved to cable on TNT. Meanwhile, most of the Tour de France, you have to go to Peacock for it. But they show a few stages on NBC. This is one of these days where they do that. But yeah, what a day for sports. Tomorrow's going to be even better. Tomorrow we're going to get the championship for the British Open, and we're going to get the World Cup championship tomorrow. All right. There's 36 riders riding with the yellow jersey, and they are a minute 41 behind the 6 riders who broke ahead of them. They're going up hills now. Speeds have dropped to between 13 to 17 miles an hour. They were up to 38 miles an hour at one point. Imagine riding a bike as fast as 38 miles per hour. That's insane. Tadej Pogačar is looking for his 5th Tour de France in the last 7 years. Next week, we will know who wins it. This is stage 14 of 21. the yellow jerseyman. His ongoing rivalry with Jonas Vingegaard has been the best story for cycling in the 2020s. Jonas Vingegaard won the Tour in 2022 and 2023. He finished in second place 4 times behind Tadej Pogačar, who won it in 2020, 2021, 2024, and 2025. Meanwhile, Pogačar finished second the 2 years that Vingegaard won it in 22 and 23. Now, I know they stripped Lance Armstrong of his titles, but I wonder if Pogačar could get to 8 Tour de France's in his career. He's still young. He could get to 8. He could pass Lance one day. I still consider Lance having 7. I don't care if they stripped him of the titles. We got about 21 miles until they reach the finish. In the standings, Pogačar in first, Jonas Vingegaard 3 minutes and 36 seconds behind on the overall time. For that yellow jersey. It's definitely not over yet. Do we play? It's not close at all. What do you mean? 3 minutes and 36 seconds. That's not that far. 3 minutes and 36 seconds. If Vingegaard on a time trial completely shreds it. Yeah, it feels far, but do you know how many hours they've traveled? Because every race they do lasts like 4 hours. And this is stage. By the time they're done, the Tour de France usually takes about 80 hours. Around 80-something hours to complete. So 3 minutes, we'll say 4 minutes. That's one 320th difference away, percentage-wise. 0.0003, something like that. There was a Tour I can tell you the closest Tour de France ever was really close by the time they got to the end of it. What was the closest Tour de France win ever for the yellow jersey? So the closest ever, Friedrich Figon beat Greg LeMond, who's one of the greatest cyclists ever, by the way, by just 8 seconds. That was in 89. Figon held a 50-second lead over LeMond heading into the final stage, which was a 24.5-kilometer time trial into Paris. Using aerodynamic time trial handlebars and a teardrop helmet, which was new at the time, LeMond rode an astonishingly fast time trial to not only win the stage, but erase his deficit, ultimately taking the yellow jersey by the slimmest margin in the race's history. Greg LeMond. Now, 2007, I remember this one. Alberto Contador beat Cadel Evans by 23 seconds. That was a super close one. That's the closest I ever seen. Most yellow jerseys all time. So the most days somebody wore the yellow jerseys, Lance Armstrong wore 83 days because the current leader wears the yellow jersey. $84 hours. Yeah, it's something like that. But Lance Armstrong had the jersey on 83 days. Bernard Hillnott had it on himself 75 days. And then guess who's third? All-time already third. Tadej Pogačar has worn the yellow jersey 60 days. He's only 23 days behind Lance. Most general classification wins Tour de France history. So, because Lance was stripped of his 7 titles, the next group of guys all won it 5 times. And these were the previous records, okay? And obviously, Pogačar will join these guys if he wins the Tour de France with his 5th. But with 5 Tour de France's, each of these guys won. There's Jacques Anquetil from France, who did it in 1957, 1961, 1962, 1963, 1964. Then you have Eddie Merckx, who did it in 69, 70, 71, 72, and 74. Bernard Hillnott of France did it in 78, 79, 81, 82, and 85. And Miguel Indurain from Spain did it from 1991 to 1995. He did it 5 years straight. Of course, we know Lance did it 7 years straight if they kept him in the record books. Now, before Lance, the greatest American to ride the Tour de France was Greg LeMond. How many yellow jersey wins did Greg LeMond have? He won it 3 times in 86, 89, and 90. It's just a history lesson there. Come here, Dulles. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Hop it. Hop it. There you go. You know how to do it. All right, so we do have one rider who's been dropped from the 6 that were on the lead. Healy is 1:10 behind the 5 riders, and the yellow jersey that has 34 riders in his group is 1:31 behind. They may catch him, they may not. They may not catch him. These riders out in front that decided to break away, they may have done so and actually earned themselves some time. We'll see. That's always what happens at the Tour de France. You'll have some people break away and try to build up some time. Usually, the big group will catch them at some point. Sometimes they don't. And then other times where time is earned between people, it's in the time trials. A lot of time, a lot of what determines time is time trials. Because if you finish in the same group as someone, you basically in that group all get the same time when you cross the finish. All right, they caught up to the lone rider. So now there's 5 riders out in front, about 1 minute and 29 seconds ahead. With 18 miles to go. I want you guys to put in the chat, will they catch these riders? Let me know. I'm going to predict yes, they're going to catch them. I don't do Snap. I don't do that. All right, they're 1:26 away. 16.9 miles left. When you ride in a big group, you're able to draft and travel together and get further. When you're in a smaller group, that's harder to do. You end up getting caught. It's a lot like Mario Kart in that way. We got a rider that's crashed. A rider that's having to switch bikes out. Teams will travel in cars with extra bikes because even though they do races individuals, they also do race in teams that are sponsored, not by country, but they race in different teams. I know that the U.S. Postal Service for a long time supported the Lance Armstrong team, which was it was all Americans basically. All right, the group is 1 minute and 18 off from the leaders. 15.9 miles left. They're going downhill. Everybody's going downhill, which you can pick up a lot of speed, but it's also dangerous. We're going to commercial. Hopefully the last commercial break of the race. But we'll see. Also, I want to thank everybody who showed up for the British Open stream. We did very well. I'm getting back some early analytics from it. We had 4.4 hours of watch time, which is great. That's about how long I streamed for, 4.5 hours. So my rule of thumb is I at least would like to make as much watch time as the content I made for a live. That would be ideal. And that did happen today. And you guys really showed up for the Black Ops stream as well last night. Your mom got you a barbecue baked potato that has brisket, cheese, sour cream, and barbecue sauce in it. My God, you're making me hungry, dude. I really, really Would love some of that. That sounds amazing. I mean, shoot, I am going to go to the bar later just to have a burger and some fries, some beer. I've seen this Applebee's commercial and it looks pretty good. He fell asleep watching the Black Ops stream. There were a couple rough spots in there. I'm not going to lie. Early on, I felt like, shoot, am I going to beat this campaign in 3.5, 4 hours? It took longer than that. It took like a little over 5 because some of the missions were kind of difficult. I kind of messed up some of the missions more than I did Black Ops 2. I still think it has the best twist of any of the COD campaigns. I do think it slaps pretty hard. I think the Black Ops 2 and the Modern Warfare 2 campaigns are right there with it, really, as far as the best COD campaigns go that I enjoyed. Yeah, the Reznov twist. Obviously, it hit me really hard the first time. It was like watching The Sixth Sense for the first time and seeing that twist, right? It's like, whoa. You know, I never suspected it the first time when it hit me. What's up, Henry? 15 miles left. The group is a minute 24 behind. These riders are traveling at speeds of 40 miles an hour now. I'm starting to think, I'll be honest though, Eli, the MW2 campaign might be the better campaign, actually. As far as like, because if you're replaying it, if you're I don't know. It's close. BO2 and BO1 are neck and neck. MW2 feels like it's a notch better, but that is my favorite COD in general also. I feel like Black Ops 2 for the most part is it's an improved Black Ops 1. It's like sometimes what you see with the video game sequel, just a straight improvement. Like you see that sometimes with video games like Assassin's Creed 2 is just a straight improvement over 1. Right? Black Ops 2 is a straight improvement over 1. All right. The big group is a minute and 24 away from the 5 lead riders. We are 14 miles away from the finish. And it's not just the yellow jersey they play for. There's other jerseys as well. There's the white jersey for best young rider under 25, which obviously Prodicar won that and has won the yellow jersey same time before. There's also the polka dot jersey for the best rider up mountains. There's mountain sprint points and stuff like that. And there's the green jersey for best sprinter. This is ones that get points for winning flat stage sprints or winning races, the end of stages. But general classification that keeps track of your time is the yellow jersey, and that's the main prize. Typically, you'll see about 180 riders or so divided up into basically 18 teams of 10 who start the Tour de France. There's also team victories as well. Of course, riders are covered in sponsorships as they travel. A lot of people consider it the most grueling event, the most hard on the body event of all sporting events, to travel this many hours by bike for 3 weeks. You almost can't think of anything that's more grueling. Which is why so many of the riders will dope. They'll take steroids. They'll take stuff that help them recover. We're going to another commercial. YMCA. YMCA. And both Doodles and Little Man have left me. They're over there. There they are. I parked Little Man in front of one of the fans. Doodles hopped over that way. Adam Silver says the schedule can't be finalized till LeBron picks his team. Well, yeah, because they want to try to get marquee matchups where he is. I told you, my inside sources say the 76ers. Because here's the reasoning. I believe the 76ers got a lot better when they got Jaylen Brown. And now they have Jaylen Brown, Edgecombe, Maxey, Joel Embiid. That already, if nothing else changes, that's the best roster in the Eastern Conference. If nothing else changes. That's better than the Knicks roster, the starting five, or top 4 players or whatever. That's better than Cleveland. That's better than the Detroit Pistons already. But, and it's like close, but still, Sixers have the edge. But if you add LeBron to that roster, all of a sudden they become for sure the favorites of the East. With that starting 5. And LeBron can bring leadership, championship leadership. He can pass the ball really well, set people up in positions to score. He doesn't have to handle the ball all the time. Maxey could definitely handle himself. Jaylen Brown could handle himself. I hated that the Celtics traded him. VJ Edgecombe's a good player. If Embiid, can he stay healthy? That's always going to be the question. But I hate that the Knicks won the NBA Finals, and I hate that the Sixers are looking to be a super team. But I think, me personally, I want LeBron to go back to Cleveland. Or suit up for the Celtics. Or suit up for the Celtics. Current Eastern Conference favorites in the NBA. Betting odds to win the Eastern Conference for the NBA. So you know what? This is what pisses me off. This pisses me off, dude. Look at these odds. No. Look at these odds. Right now, this second, the Boston Celtics are still favored to win the Eastern Conference. What's up, Henry? The Boston Celtics are still favored. How? I don't even think the Celtics are favored anymore. They lost another rider, so they're down to 4 riders up front. The other guy's already back down to the group. He ran out of gas. We got 11 miles to the finish. Everybody chasing him's a minute 24 away. But right now, the odds are plus 225 for the Celtics, plus 275 for the Knicks, plus 600 for the Heat, plus 700 for the Sixers, plus 750 for the Pistons, plus 800 for the Cavs. These odds are fucked. I'm sorry. If people think the Boston Celtics are better trading Jaylen Brown away for Paul George, then they're just flatly stupid. And I am a big Celtics fan. And I don't think for one goddamn second we're going to be even in the discussion in the Eastern Conference, let alone the NBA Finals. It's over. Like, if I were to rank the top 6 contenders, these are the 6 teams that shouldn't have to go through the play-in. These are the teams that they're the best 6 in the East. To me, the favorites today, the favorites should be the Knicks because they just won the finals. And we haven't seen what's happened with the other teams yet. Second should be the Sixers after the trade for Jaylen Brown. Third, you should give it to the Cavs. Fourth, the Pistons. Fifth, the Miami Heat. And I truly believe the Celtics are the 6th best team in the Eastern Conference. Had they kept Jaylen Brown and Tatum together, I would have had them number 1. Now let's look at the West. Betting odds to win the Western Conference NBA. Okay, so Oklahoma City, huge favorites. Well, them and the Spurs are the top 2 by a landslide. Yeah, what a fall from grace. Yeah. Well, according to the NBA, people that bet on gamble and stuff, they say the Celtics are still the favorites to win the East. I'm a Celtics fan. I think they're the 6th best team in the East. But on to the West, OKC is plus 140, and San Antonio Spurs are plus 150 to win the West. Then there's a huge gap. Denver is plus 1,000. No, I'm sorry. The Timberwolves are plus 900. Denver is plus 1,000. Golden State is plus 2,000. The Lakers are plus 2,200. First of all, you could get the Warriors and the Lakers right the fuck out of there. I don't even think they're top 6 in the West. I know somebody has to be. I don't even want to discuss those teams. I want to talk about the top 4 in the West. The Spurs got to be ahead of the Thunder. They just beat them. And then the Timberwolves would be next, and the Nuggets. So it's kind of like T-Wolves, Nuggets, neck and neck. I think the T-Wolves have the edge. Spurs, Thunder, head to head. I think the Spurs have the edge. But again, I've already predicted before LeBron's even went to the Sixers, I've already predicted Timberwolves Sixers finals with Timberwolves winning it all. Before we get LeBron possibly going. All right, so they're about a minute behind. 9.7 miles left. All right, there's only 2 riders left up front. 2 more riders are 13 seconds behind those 2 riders. And now the big group with 22 riders is 57 seconds behind the leaders. It's starting to fall apart for the breakaway group. And they're only doing about 10 miles per hour going up this hill. Timberwolves make the finals. Would be shocked. They've never been to the NBA finals, I don't believe. What teams have never been to the NBA finals? Only the Hornets, the Clippers, the Grizzlies, and the Timberwolves and the Pelicans have never been to the NBA finals. And again, I mean, I think it's easy to just say, hey, the Spurs are going to win it all. The Spurs are back in the finals. Wemby gets his. I understand totally. You know, it almost feels like a missed opportunity they didn't get it last year. But I'm telling you, there is something about that backcourt with Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball that I just can't get over. That backcourt, and then you will have Rudy Gobert. They did fight the Spurs to a 6-game series. Don't they have Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle? Is that who they have? They have somebody else I'm not thinking of. But anyway, we're on the last commercial. I'm pretty sure it's the last commercial. Oh, yeah, they got rid of Julius Randle and Nas. Let me see who the projected Minnesota Timberwolves 2026 starting lineup. Oh, yeah, they kept Jaden McDaniels. That's who I was thinking of. So they have LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayu Dosunmu, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. The person they're going to miss is it was part of the trade to get LaMelo. Who did the Timberwolves trade to get LaMelo? Naz Reid is who they're going to miss. They're going to miss some Naz Reid for sure. But that was worth it. All right. So we have the group split even more. The main group only has 17 riders in it. They're 55 seconds behind. And there's 2 riders in a chase 1 that's behind the leaders by 25 seconds. And we have the 2 leaders out front. We have 8.9 miles to go. As we're getting close to the end. We're waiting for an update on the timers. Man, some of these people, do they not believe in shoulders on French roads? I mean, my God. You don't think you're getting your badge back? You got people parked on hills that their car could easily fall. For viewers, woo. Let's talk about the viewership. That always drives them away. All right, they're going uphill. Yeah. You're a live counter. Man, they are really struggling to get up this hill, man. It is difficult. It is difficult on them. Now there's only one guy out in front. Carapaz. Chase 2's been caught totally. They're out of gas. Johansson is 17 seconds behind the leader. Carapaz is going to try to hold on, man, and get the improbable win. Henry's got a PS5 in the chat. I see that. By the way, the Tour de France video game sucks. I tried it. Not good. In fact, the general group is 1 minute and 1 second behind. The leader has increased his lead a little. Shockingly. But can he hold on? Or will he hit the wall? Tour. $57 seconds now for the group. Johansson 14 seconds behind on his own. The leader, Carapaz, in first. We got 8.2 miles left. No, I didn't really like that one either. MX versus ATV. Eight miles left. And the group's 1 minute and 1 second behind. Still. And this is why Carapaz is already over the hill. Going downhill right now. Doing speeds of 40 miles an hour. Meanwhile, the big group is only down to 15 riders. People are peeling off and falling behind. Carapaz may hold on. What an effort this would be. To be the lone man to cross the finish line ahead of the group. It would be an honor. They're over that last hill now. I think that's the last hill, really. They're all descending. 7.5 miles left. It's going to get a lot faster. Speeds are over 30 miles an hour now. They're winding through the townhomes and these old country roads. Cars parked along the side. Watch out for that fence. 14 riders left in the main group. That's it. That's all there was. Big crowds gathering towards the finish. Carapaz all by his lonesome. With a cheering crowd. He is going up another hill. There is another hill, apparently. The struggle is real. Every fiber in his body must be screaming at him. Every single muscle must be sore, tense, cramped, in shearing pain at this point. the effort and endurance put into this race. He's 57 seconds ahead of the group, which is down to 10 riders. Johansson is starting to struggle. He's in part of that Chase 1 group. No, I couldn't either. No way. It ain't made for us, man. 7 miles left. We're about 30 minutes away from the kickoff of the World Cup. Only 10 riders left in the big group that's left. There we go to another commercial. I predicted that the leaders would get caught. There's 1 leader left. Eli, is he going to hold on or is he going to get caught? This is your last chance to make a pick on that. One man out in front. He goes, I don't care. He goes, I don't give a shit. I'm just here to hang out. Hey, at least that's honest. Let's be honest. Half the streams you watch of me, it's not even what I'm streaming. You just want to hang out. Same with you, Sam. As long as I'm not streaming a sleep stream, you all want to hang out. Eli's got the badge. Oh, you have the Ninja one. You have the Ninja account, the Henry account, the Sam family account. I need about 92 more accounts here to sub to my channel. In the stream, so you keep your badge. You know what I figured out? This is the thing. If you keep the badge, but the badge continues to the next stream. It's ongoing forever. They're gonna catch him, guys. I'm sorry to say. In that little commercial break, they gained a bunch of time on him. They're only 22 seconds behind. Actually, Johansson's about to catch Carapaz first because I think Carapaz has hit the wall. He's hit the wall, bud. I'm not ending it till the race is over. $20 seconds. There's only 6 riders in that group. Among that group is the yellow jersey, is the white jersey, is the polka dot jersey. They will not give up their jerseys today. Carapaz there's 2 leaders out front, 15 seconds in the lead. Carapaz and Johansson. They're going to get caught here by the group, which includes the yellow jersey. You can see the pain on their face, the 2 riders. They're right behind him. I see that the 6 riders, which includes the yellow jersey, they're right behind. Johansson's in front of Carapaz now. Yellow jersey, 14 seconds behind. 11 seconds behind. If they catch him, it's got 8 seconds behind. They're going to get caught. They're looking behind him. They see him. They know they're there. They're there. Here they come. 7 seconds behind. They're right over their shoulder. 5 miles to go. They're not holding him off. They caught him. They caught him. They're right there. They caught him. And they're falling behind now, actually, of the group that just caught him. Polka dot jersey's out in front. Yellow jersey right on his heel. Oh, if they're caught, they're just actually they're behind him now. They're gassed. It's just they're not going to win the stage. They lose their time. Well, they are part of the 8. There's 8 riders here up front. The polka dot jersey, the white jersey, and the yellow jersey among them. This is going to be a crazy finish when we get there. They're going up a hill, really, right now. Led by the polka dot jersey. Yeah, Venego is in this group as well. Venego and Prodicar are in this group. A lot of the top guys for the yellow jersey are in this group of 8. You do get time bonuses for winning stages and stuff. But these top riders have kept up. We got 4.5 miles to go. They're going up the last hill. 6 miles per hour speed. They are struggling to get up this hill. It is a steep one. Crowd cheering them on. The yellow jerseys pulled out in front. Tadej Pogačar, he's pulled out in front of the hill, doing speeds of 9 miles per hour. He's left the rest of them. The best cyclist in the world is leading the stage of the Tour de France in the yellow jersey. Where does he find this energy? Where does he find this effort? Calm and collected, barely breathing heavy. Legs made of tree trunks. Pedaling away. He's by his lonesome up the hill now. What's up, Henry? Pogačar's leading. This is why he's the best in the world. This is why one day he could be the GOAT of cycling. He's won 24 stage wins in his career. Most stage wins in the Tour de France for a career. Mark Cavendish has 35 stage victories. That's the most of all time. Usually sprinters will win more than anybody else. How many stage victories did Lance Armstrong have? In fact, here's a crazy stat for you, Eli. Pogačar has won more individual stages at the Tour de France than Lance Armstrong did. Lance won 22 individual stages. Pogačar's won 23 in his career already. That's insane. You don't see this a lot from the yellow jersey. They do win some stages, especially time trials, right? But he decided he wanted to win this stage today, too. Four riders. Venegaard's in the polka dot jersey. Pogačar left him behind. His rival In fact, Vingegaard's left his riders behind. He's trying to catch Pogačar, but he's behind by about 12 seconds. This crowd's going absolutely bananas. I don't know if I've ever seen a Tour de France crowd going this bananas before. They're just absolutely losing their shit. They're in the road, basically. Pogačar, yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see this, man. 3.8 miles left. This is incredible. I did not expect to see this today. This is only the 7th time Pogačar has been in the Tour de France. He's still young. He's won it 4 times his first 6 years. He won his debut at the Tour de France in 2020. I don't think anybody's ever done that. Youngest to ever win the Tour, I believe, when he won his first one in the COVID year. I think we are looking at somebody who can be the GOAT without any of the cheating allegations. Pogačar is 20 seconds ahead of Vingegaard right now. Tour de France is every year. And the only thing that stopped Pogačar from already winning 6 Tour de France's in a row was Vingegaard, who won it 2 years out of this 6-year stretch. But you are talking about somebody that already, you could already make the case that Pogačar, if he wins this Tour de France, is the 2nd greatest cyclist ever after Lance Armstrong. And if you discount Lance Armstrong's work, you can make the argument that if Pogačar wins, that he's the greatest cyclist. You can make the argument for it, just like you could for Eddie Merckx or a couple of Renault or a few other cyclists, if you don't count Lance Armstrong. Pogačar's going downhill now. They're finally up and over the hill, doing speeds of 35 miles an hour. We got 3 miles left. He's 26 seconds ahead of Vingegaard. He really pulled one over on him. They were riding together at one point, and Pogačar pulled ahead. Yeah, we Fit Plus for a long time. Pogačar is going faster than the people chasing him. He's going 37 miles an hour. They're going 36. He still has the energy. I don't know how. I don't know where he gets this from. It's truly incredible. He could increase his lead today for the Tour de France. 3 riders are in chase 1, which includes Vingegaard, and who's in the polka dot jersey for the hill points. White jersey is 3 riders, 53 seconds behind. It's still going. 2 miles left. I think he's going to win it. I think he's going to win the stage. I think he's going to cross that finish line by himself. There won't be a sprint at the end. Hello, Sam. 1.5 miles left. And if anything, Prodikar's increasing his lead. It's 32 seconds ahead now. 33 seconds ahead. If anything. He's from Slovenia. He's got to go down as the best Slovenian athlete of all time, for sure. I'll probably butcher his name, and one day I'll get it right. In fact, we're going to see if I've been butchering his name. How do you pronounce the cyclist Tadej Pogačar? How do you pronounce the name of Tadej Pogačar, the cyclist? You just say Tadej Pogačar. Tadej Pogačar. Tadej Pogačar. Pogačar. Tadej Pogačar.
If you follow professional cycling, you've definitely heard commentators mention one of the biggest stars in the sport, but his name is often mispronounced. Let's get it right. For English speakers, a simple pronunciation is Tadej Pogačar. Let's bring
Tadej Pogačar.
Ta sounds like saying ta in taco.
Tadej.
Po sounds like saying po. Ga sounds like the ga in garden. Char sounds like char, like charred food.
I'm sorry. No offense to him. I don't mean to mispronounce his name. I'm always going to call him Tadej Pogačar. Sorry. And here he comes to the finish line, all by his lonesome. The yellow jersey, the winner of 4 of the last 6 of the Tour de France. Tadej Pogačar on his lonesome. No one behind him, smiling ear to ear. Finger to the air. He's going to be crossing the finish line as the winner of stage 14. And now we're counting the seconds that he's adding on Jonas Vingegaard. We're up to 12 seconds he's added on him. This next group has 3 people. It's got the white jersey. No, not the white jersey. It's got the polka dot jersey of Jonas Vingegaard there. 30 seconds he's added. Still continues. 35 seconds. And finally coming to the finish line, 43 seconds behind is Jonas Vingegaard. Which means Tadej Pogačar has increased his lead up from 336 to now, I believe, 419. He should be leading the Tour de France by 4 minutes and 19 seconds. What a race. DSP's playing Dark Souls 2 for the first time. Good luck. All right. Well, that's going to conclude our coverage of the Tour de France for today. Congratulations to Tadej Pogačar for winning the stage. Best cyclist in the world for sure. If you guys want to see more of my streams, subscribe to the channel. We are going to stream the France versus England World Cup 3rd place match here very shortly. So be on the lookout for that. Check the channel. Make sure, you may not get the notification. So just come back, check it out, subscribe. See y'all in a little bit. Eli, Sam, I'll see you there.